Item 260. Lime treatment, road mixed. 1. Description. Mix and compact lime, water, and subgrade or base, with or without asphaltic concrete pavement, in the roadway. 2. Materials. Furnish uncontaminated materials of uniform quality that meet the requirements of the plans and specifications. Notify the engineer of the proposed material sources and of changes to material sources. Obtain verification from the engineer that the specification requirements are met before using the sources. The engineer may sample and test project materials at any time before compaction. Use TEX 100E for material definitions. 2.1 Lime. Furnish lime that meets the requirements of DMS 6350, lime and lime slurry, and DMS 6330, pre-qualification of lime sources. Use hydrated lime, commercial lime slurry, quicklime, or carbide lime slurry as shown on the plans. Do not use quicklime when sulfates are present in quantities greater than 3000 ppm. When furnishing quicklime, provide it in bulk. 2.2 Subgrade. The engineer will determine the sulfate content of the existing subgrade in accordance with TEX 145E and organic content in accordance with TEX 148E before lime treatment begins. Suspend operations when material to be treated has a sulfate content greater than 7000 ppm or an organic content greater than 1% and proceed as directed. 2.3 Flexible base. Unless otherwise shown on the plans, furnish base material that meets the requirements of item 247, flexible base, for the type and grade shown on the plans, before the addition of lime. 2.4 Water. Furnish water free of industrial wastes and other objectionable material. 2.5 Asphalt. When asphalt or emulsion is permitted for curing purposes, furnish materials that meet the requirements of item 300, asphalts, oils, and emulsions, as shown on the plans or as directed. 2.6 Mix design. The engineer will determine the target lime content and optimum moisture content in accordance with TEX 121E or prior experience with the project materials. The contractor may propose a mix design developed in accordance with TEX 121E. The engineer will use TEX 121E to verify the contractor's proposed mix design before acceptance. Reimburse the department for subsequent mix designs or partial designs necessitated by changes in the material or requests by the contractor. Limit the amount of recycled asphalt pavement to no more than 50% of the mix unless otherwise shown on the plans or directed. 3. Equipment. Provide machinery, tools, and equipment necessary for proper execution of the work. Provide rollers in accordance with item 210, rolling. Provide proof rollers in accordance with item 216, proof rolling, when required. 3.1 Storage facility. Store quicklime and dry hydrated lime in closed, weatherproof containers. 3.2 Slurry equipment. Use slurry tanks equipped with agitation devices to slurry hydrated lime or quicklime on the project or other approved location. The engineer may approve other slurrying methods. 3.3 Provide a pump for agitating the slurry when the distributor truck is not equipped with an agitator. Equip the distributor truck with a sampling device in accordance with TEX 600J, Part I, when using commercial lime slurry or carbide lime slurry. 3.4 Hydrated lime distribution equipment. Provide equipment to spread lime evenly across the area to be treated. Provide equipment with a rotary vane feeder to spread lime, when shown on the plans. 3.5 Pulverization equipment. Provide pulverization equipment that cuts and pulverizes material uniformly to the proper depth with cutters that plane to a uniform surface over the entire width of the cut. Provides a visible indication of the depth of cut at all times, and uniformly mixes the materials. 4. Construction. Construct each layer uniformly, free of loose or segregated areas, and with the required density and moisture content. Provide a smooth surface that conforms to the typical sections, lines, and grades shown on the plans or as directed. 4.1 Preparation of subgrade or existing base for treatment. Before treating, remove existing asphalt pavement in accordance with item 105, removing treated and untreated base and asphalt pavement, when shown on the plans or as directed. Shape existing material in accordance with applicable bid items to conform to typical sections shown on the plans and as directed. Unless otherwise approved, proof roll the roadbed in accordance with item 216, proof rolling, before pulverizing or scarifiering existing material. Correct soft spots as directed. When material is imported from a borrow source, notify the engineer of the location of the borrow source well in advance to allow time for testing and approval to avoid delay to the project. Stockpile as directed. The engineer will test the borrow source and determine the sulfate and organic contents. When the borrow source has a sulfate content greater than 3000 ppm or an organic content greater than 1%, proceed as directed. When new base material is required to be mixed with existing base, deliver, place, and spread the new material in the required amount per station. Manipulate and thoroughly mix new base with existing material to provide a uniform mixture to the specified depth before shaping. 4.2 Pulverization. Pulverize or scarify existing material after shaping so that 100% passes a 2.5 inches sieve. If the material cannot be uniformly processed to the required depth in a single pass, excavate and windrow the material to expose a secondary grade to achieve processing to planned depth. 4.3 Application of lime. Uniformly apply lime using dry or slurry placement as shown on the plans or as directed. Add lime at the percentage determined in section 260.2.6, Mix Design. Apply lime only on an area where mixing can be completed during the same working day. Start lime application only when the air temperature is at least 35 degrees Fahrenheit and rising or is at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature will be taken in the shade and away from artificial heat. Suspend application when the engineer determines that weather conditions are unsuitable. Minimize dust and scattering of lime by wind. Do not apply lime when wind conditions, in the opinion of the engineer, cause blowing lime to become dangerous to traffic or objectionable to adjacent property owners. When pebble-grade quicklime is placed dry, mix the material and lime thoroughly at the time of lime application. Use of quicklime can be dangerous. Inform users of the recommended precautions for handling and storage. 4.3.1 Dry placement. Before applying lime, bring the prepared roadway to approximately 2 percentage points above optimum moisture content. When necessary, sprinkle in accordance with item 204, sprinkling. Distribute the required quantity of hydrated lime or pebble-grade quicklime with approved equipment. Only hydrated lime may be distributed by bag. Do not use a motor grader to spread hydrated lime. 4.3.2 Slurry placement. Provide slurry free of objectionable materials, at or above the minimum dry solids content, and with a uniform consistency that will allow ease of handling and uniform application. Deliver commercial lime slurry or carbide lime slurry to the job site, or use hydrated lime or quicklime to prepare lime slurry at the job site or other approved location, as specified. When dry quicklime is applied as slurry, use 80% of the amount shown on the plans. Distribute slurry uniformly by making successive passes over a measured section of roadway until the specified lime content is reached. Uniformly spread the residue from quicklime slurry over the length of the roadway being processed, unless otherwise directed. 4.4 Mixing. Begin mixing within 6 hours of application of lime. Hydrated lime exposed to the open air for 6 hours or more between application and mixing, or that experiences excessive loss due to washing or blowing, will not be accepted for payment. Thoroughly mix the material and lime using approved equipment. When treating subgrade, bring the moisture content above the optimum moisture content to ensure adequate chemical reaction of the lime and subgrade materials. Allow the mixture to mellow for 1 to 4 days, as directed. When pebble-grade quicklime is used, allow the mixture to mellow for 2 to 4 days, as directed. Sprinkle the treated materials during the mixing and mellowing operation, as directed, to achieve adequate hydration and proper moisture content. When the material to be treated has a sulfate content greater than 3000 ppm but less than or equal to 7000 ppm, mellow for a minimum of 7 days. Maintain in a continuously moist condition by sprinkling in accordance with item 204, sprinkling. After mellowing, resume mixing until a homogeneous, friable mixture is obtained. After mixing, the engineer may sample the mixture at roadway moisture and test in accordance with TEX 101E, Part 3, to determine compliance with the gradation requirements in Table 1. Table 1. Gradation requirements and minimum percent passing. Sieve size 1-3/4 with a base value of 100% and subgrade of 100%. Sieve size 3/4 with a base value of 85 and subgrade of 85%. Sieve size number 4 with no base value and subgrade of 0.6. 4.5 Compaction. Compact the mixture using density control, unless otherwise shown on the plans. Multiple lifts are permitted when shown on the plans or approved. Bring each layer to the moisture content directed. Sprinkle the treated material in accordance with item 204, sprinkling or aerate the treated material to adjust the moisture content during compaction so that it is no more than 1.0 percentage points below optimum and 2.0 percentage points above optimum as determined by TEX 121E. Measure the moisture content of the material in accordance with TEX 115E or TEX 103E during compaction daily and report the results the same day, unless otherwise shown on the plans or directed. Begin rolling longitudinally at the sides and proceed toward the center, overlapping on successive trips by at least 1/2 the width of the roller unit. On super elevated curves, begin rolling at the low side and progress toward the high side. Offset alternate trips of the roller. Operate rollers at a speed between 2 and 6 miles per hour as directed. Before final acceptance, the engineer will select the locations of tests in each unit and measure the treated depth in accordance with TEX 140E. Correct areas deficient by more than 1/2 inches in thickness or more than 1/2% in target lime content by adding lime as required, reshaping, reco-impacting, and refinishing at the contractor's expense. Rework, reco-impact, and refinish material that fails to meet or that loses required moisture, density, stability, or finish before the next course is placed or the project is accepted. Continue work until specification requirements are met. Rework in accordance with Section 260.4.6, reworking a section. Perform the work at no additional expense to the department. 4.5.1 Ordinary compaction. Roll with approved compaction equipment, as directed. Correct irregularities, depressions, and weak spots immediately by scarifying the areas affected, adding or removing treated material as required, reshaping, and reco-impacting. 4.5.2 Density control. The engineer will determine roadway density and moisture content of completed sections in accordance with TEX 115E. The engineer may accept the section if no more than one of the 5 most recent density tests is below the specified density and the failing test is no more than 3 pcf below the specified density. 4.5.2.1 Subgrade. Compact to at least 95% of the maximum density determined in accordance with TEX 121E, unless otherwise shown on the plans. 4.5.2.2 Base. Compact the bottom course to at least 95% of the maximum density determined in accordance with TEX 121E, unless otherwise shown on the plans. Compact subsequent courses treated under this item to at least 98% of the maximum density determined in accordance with TEX 121E, unless otherwise shown on the plans. 4.6 Reworking a section. When a section is reworked within 72 hours after completion of compaction, rework the section to provide the required density. When a section is reworked more than 72 hours after completion of compaction, Add additional lime at 25% of the percentage determined in section 260.2.6, mix design. Reworking includes loosening, adding material or removing unacceptable material if necessary, mixing as directed, compacting, and finishing. When density control is specified, determine a new maximum density of the reworked material in accordance with TEX 121E, and compact to at least 95% of this density. 4.7 Finishing. Immediately after completing compaction of the final course, clip, skin, or tight blade the surface of the lime-treated material with a maintainer or subgrade trimmer to a depth of approximately 1/4 inches. Remove loosened material and dispose of at an approved location. Roll the clipped surface immediately with a pneumatic tire roller until a smooth surface is attained. Add small amounts of water as needed during rolling. Shape and maintain the course and surface in conformity with the typical sections, lines, and grades shown on the plans or as directed. Finish grade of constructed subgrade to within 0.1 feet in the cross section and 0.1 feet in 16 feet measured longitudinally. Correct grade deviations of constructed base greater than 1/4 inches in 16 feet measured longitudinally or greater than 1/4 inches over the entire width of the cross section in areas where surfacing is to be placed. Remove excess material, reshape, and roll with a pneumatic tire roller. Correct as directed if material is more than 1/4 inches low. Do not surface patch. The 72 hours time limit required for completion of placement, compaction, and finishing does not apply to finishing required just before applying the surface course. 4.8 Curing. Cure for the minimum number of days shown in Table 2 by sprinkling in accordance with Item 204, sprinkling, or by applying an asphalt material at a rate of 0.05 to 0.20 gallons per square yard as directed. Maintain moisture during curing. Upon completion of curing, maintain the moisture content in accordance with Section 132.3.5, Maintenance of Moisture and Reworking, for subgrade, and Section 247.4.5, Curing for bases before placing subsequent courses. Do not allow equipment on the finished course during curing except as required for sprinkling, unless otherwise approved. Apply seals or additional courses within 14 calendar days of final compaction. Table 2. Minimum curing requirements before placing subsequent courses. Untreated material and curing in days. Untreated material pi less than or equal to 35 with a curing of 2 days. Untreated material pi greater than 35 with a curing of 5 days. 1. Subject to the approval of the engineer. Proof rolling may be required as an indicator of adequate curing. 5. Measurement. 5.1 Lime. When lime is furnished in trucks, the weight of lime will be determined on certified scales, or the contractor must provide a set of standard platform truck scales at a location approved by the engineer. Scales must conform to the requirements of Item 520, weighing and measuring equipment. When lime is furnished in bags, indicate the manufacturer's certified weight. Bags varying more than 5% from that weight may be rejected. The average weight of bags in any shipment, as determined by weighing 10 bags taken at random, must be at least the manufacturer's certified weight. 5.1.1 Hydrated lime. 5.1.1.1 Dry. Lime will be measured by the ton, dry weight. 5.1.1.2 Slurry. Lime slurry will be measured by the ton, dry weight, of the hydrated lime used to prepare the slurry at the job site. 5.1.2 Commercial lime slurry. Lime slurry will be measured by the ton, dry weight, as calculated from the minimum % dry solids content of the slurry, multiplied by the weight of the slurry in tons delivered. 5.1.3 Quick lime. 5.1.3.1 Dry. Lime will be measured by the ton, dry weight, of the quick lime. 5.1.3.2 Slurry. Lime slurry will be measured by the ton, dry weight, of the quick lime used to prepare the slurry multiplied by a conversion factor of 1.28 to give the quantity of equivalent hydrated lime, which will be the basis of payment. 5.1.4 Carbide lime slurry. Lime slurry will be measured by the ton, dry weight, as calculated from the minimum % dry solids content of the slurry, multiplied by the weight of the slurry in tons delivered. 5.2 Lime treatment. Lime treatment will be measured by the square yard of surface area. The dimensions for determining the surface area are established by the widths shown on the plans and the lengths measured at placement. 6. Payment. The work performed and materials furnished in accordance with this item and measured as provided under measurement will be paid in accordance with Section 260.6.1, lime, and Section 260.6.2, lime treatment. Furnishing and delivering new base will be paid for in accordance with Section 247.6.2, flexible base, roadway delivery, DOT. Mixing, spreading, belading, shaping, compacting, and finishing new or existing base material will be paid for in accordance with Section 260.6.2, lime treatment. Removal and disposal of existing asphalt concrete pavement will be paid for in accordance with pertinent items or Article 4.4, changes in the work. Sprinkling and rolling, except proof rolling, will not be paid for directly but will be subsidiary to this item, unless otherwise shown on the plans. When proof rolling is shown on the plans or directed by the engineer, it will be paid for in accordance with item 216, proof rolling. Where subgrade is constructed under this contract, correction of soft spots in the subgrade or existing base will be at the contractor's expense. Where subgrade is not constructed under this contract, correction of soft spots in the subgrade or existing base will be paid for in accordance with pertinent items or Article 4.4, changes in the work. Where subgrade to be treated under this contract has sulfates greater than 7,000 ppm, work will be paid for in accordance with Article 4.4, changes in the work. Asphalt used solely for curing will not be paid for directly but will be subsidiary to this item. Asphalt placed for curing and priming will be paid for under item 310, prime coat. 6.1 Lime. Lime will be paid for at the unit price bid for lime of one of the following types. Hydrated lime, dry. Hydrated lime, slurry. Commercial lime slurry. Quick lime, dry. Quick lime, slurry, or carbide lime slurry. This price is full compensation for materials, delivery, equipment, labor, tools, and incidentals. Lime used for reworking a section in accordance with Section 260.4.6, reworking a section, will not be paid for directly but will be subsidiary to this item. 6.2 Lime treatment. Lime treatment will be paid for at the unit price bid for lime treatment, existing material, lime treatment, new base, or lime treatment, mixing existing material and new base, for the depth specified. No payment will be made for thickness or width exceeding that shown on the plans. This price is full compensation for shaping existing material, loosening, mixing, pulverizing, spreading, applying lime, compacting, finishing, curing materials, belading, shaping and maintaining shape, replacing mixture, disposing of loosened materials, processing, hauling, preparing secondary subgrade, water, equipment, labor, tools, and incidentals.